our viewers. I spent quite a few hours on our video, but the longest was the music, because I really wanted to make us awake, not really awake, but to have something beautiful. And then I had to make sure it's copy free. Otherwise, there's going to be a problem. So I am so excited today. And Janice, I'm going to read something from the side, because your book reminded me on my why. And my why, if your why is big enough, you can do anything. You can do everything. And the people that know me, that knows that I have let go of a whole person in weight. So my beautiful Janice, your beautiful transformative journal, Courage, Confidence and Connection, is truly something that people can go back, people can put down and really concentrate on all the things they need to make their lives better. So, beautiful Janice, she created a safe space for reflection, because that was very important for me. Reflection, healing, courage, confidence, and meaningful human connection. So, my beautiful Janice, that was truly such an inspiration to be, and an honor, a true honor to go through your journal, your book. And I love the colors, almost like your colors that you have at the back. So, may I please ask you to introduce yourself and tell us why you decided on the cover, particularly on the cover of this amazing book. And then if you can show us, I would really appreciate that.
Gorgeous.
Beautiful.
It matches the background, so it kind of blends in.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay. So I'm Janice Debo, and I am from North Carolina. I'm an Oregon resident now for 16 years. My oh my goodness, my journey in my journal gives a lot of funny stories of some of my journey. As the further you go, the more you learn about me. I was a preacher's kid in North Carolina and grew up moving around a lot, learned how to make friends, had some crazy adventures. And I'm in Oregon now, and I work as not just a writer, but a coach. I do help people with my personal development coaching, in addition to having a podcast called the same name, Courage, Confidence, and Connections.
Thank you, my beautiful one. So, my beautiful Natalie, please introduce yourself, ask your first question, and then after Janice have answered her question, we can apply our beautiful sponsors video. So, my beautiful ones, if you are wondering, this is the Author Journey Show. Co-host Sanette van Breda and Natalie. Our beautiful spotlight author today is Janice. And on the other side, that beautiful logo is from a Masterpiece. And we're going to play their video, and then Natalie will tell us a snippet of what Masterpiece is. Okay, Natalie, all over to you, my girl.
Absolutely. That cover is heavenly, like your background. So I'm Natalie Chilton, and I am from Alberta, Canada. I am an author and an intuitive health practitioner and a truth coach. And I head up a Freedom Legacy project to assist domestic violence survivors to exit, and doing a sewing project in Pakistan with Sewing Seeds Ministries to create beautiful cotton and linen sheets, freedom sheets, for the girls on that side of the world. So, questions. Let's see. First of all, I love that you didn't number your titles.
Oh.
I noticed that they didn't have numbers on them, and I really like that, because you can use it intuitively. You can just open up to a page, land on the page that you're meant to see. But let's start with being brave.
Oh, okay.
Here we are. Here you are. And it says, I can believe in myself and believe in God, divine providence, provision, and the power to keep going and never give up. So my feeling around that question, because I'm a writer also, can you remember where you were in time when that being brave, that title landed for you? Maybe it's multiple things.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
I would say so. I had been coming through a really, really bad divorce and relocated. I moved to a different home at that time. I started blogging. That was in 2020, and we all know about that year. So, 2020 and 2021, I was dealing with very adverse circumstances and very challenging times. In that space, I just I didn't feel brave, to be honest, ladies. I didn't feel that courage, but I wrote it to inspire myself, I believe. And because as I looked back on the first move, which there were several after, but looked back at that situation and I realized I had gotten through something that was very difficult. And I think I don't recall exactly where I was, but I know that I was coming through some very tough stuff. And I looked back apparently and went, well, I was brave at some level. And I also should point out that the book came together after I'd written about 120 blogs, which there are more than that now, 160 some. But when I decided to publish it, I had a conversation with a friend who is a publisher and an editor. And I said, "Well, I'm thinking I'm supposed to publish my blogs." And she said, "Well, let's talk about making it a journal because it's got the right, format for that." And that's where that came from. But yeah, a lot of bravery in my life for those few years, and still in some ways.
Wow.
100%. I know why I resonated with that. That just absolutely popped for me. So thank you for it because it strengthened me as I read
Oh,
it.
good, good. I'm really
Yeah.
glad to hear it. That means the world to me.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you
Oh,
so much, my beautiful Natalie and Janice, and my beautiful viewers. I am Sanette from Radar. I'm your voice amplifier. I create space and stages for millions of incredible souls around the world to come and share their wisdom, their brilliance, and their transformative stories on all my platforms. And through all this magic, we are creating a ripple effect of love, joy, and happiness. So for us, having Janice here as our author today is such a privilege. But not only that, having you, my beautiful viewers, to watch,
Mm.
to look at, see what nuggets you can have from this amazing author, from not her authorship, but also her book, from me and Natalie. So I just wanted to remind all of you that all the show notes is down below. And also remember, beautiful Janice books. To buy her book is also down below. There's a snippet of her book is also below. And then I want to say thank you for your rating, and we love five ratings, so thank you for that. And please put a feedback in. We will love to hear your feedback. And then I want to say thank you to our sponsor, Masterpiece. We are going to play the 30 seconds commercial, and then Natalie is going to tell us a little snippet of Masterpiece. Thank you, Masterpiece.
Our air, water, and food and cause you to feel off. Masterpiece cleanses these toxins out. Its natural blend of volcanic minerals removes the toxins and supports better sleep, focus, and energy.
It's compatible with your internal environment in which it goes. So you take 5 drops under the tongue twice a day.
It's clinically proven and has thousands of testimonials. Try it today.
And also the link for Masterpiece is Diamond down below. Natalie?
absolutely. Thank you, Masterpiece. So here it is. It is sea plasma. It is a beautiful, completely natural product. And how it works is first of all, it has a magnetic charge in it, a natural charge, and it goes up into the cells. And we're all exposed to heavy metals and aluminum. Even deodorants have aluminum, many different things. So it goes up into the cell, magnetically connects with all those metals, and like a net, it covers it, deposits beautiful minerals into your cells, and discharges the toxins and plastics safely. So I love it. I love it. Thank you, Masterpiece.
Thank you, Natalie. So now, my beautiful Janice, my question I'm still with your book cover because I have done a lot of coffee chats. I told Natalie today in a power hour, I've done 747 today. It was my 747 in 4 years and 5 months. And I do see a lot of, especially women, that don't have courage, that don't have confidence. So I want to ask you this question. Your title includes courage, confidence, and connection. Why are these three words so important for you?
At the same time I was living in that house I was just speaking of, I was sitting in my recliner. I don't know if I was writing, reading, or just meditating. The three words courage, confidence, connections just it downloaded. And I said, oh, I got to write that down. That's going to mean something. I had no idea at that time because I wasn't writing a book. I was just blogging. And of course, 4 years later, there's the book. But yeah, exactly. And it means something to me because courage, again, is like bravery. You don't feel it in the midst of it. You don't know you're being courageous most of the time. Sometimes you do. Sometimes it's conscious, but most of the time we look back and see that, oh, wow, I had to have a lot of courage to do what I did. And then the confidence comes when you are courageous, when you can look back and say, yeah, I did that. I did that. And you definitely, it boosts your confidence when you realize you were courageous in a moment of time. Now, the connections come from the people we meet and the people we love and the people we don't know and meet down the road. And so I've always been a connector, introducing people to each other. So that fit because without the connections, we can't share our stories and our lives. And I'm all about sharing stories.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's so good. That's so good. I mean, those are the pillars of life, really. And to have a full life without those elements, you're not going to live a big, bold, strong, fulfilling life. So I think it's really important. And I think you demonstrate that in how you live and how you teach, because I've attended your master class and I love how you teach. Very practical and strong.
Thank
All
you.
right. Is it my turn?
Yes, your
Question?
turn, my girl.
Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh my God. This journal is really like divine timing for me in my life, because I'm dealing with some of the similar things that you were dealing with when you wrote it.
Oh,
And I love the chapter, the entry of beauty,
yes.
even the word itself, because sometimes in the midst of ugly moments, circumstances, which come and go for all of us. So beauty, put on rose colored glasses. I was always told to take them off. Okay. So I like your instruction. Put on, I need to get them back on. Put on rose colored glasses. I love seeing people's eyes light up when I say something life giving. That's beauty to me. That's a quote from your book.
Oh, Thank you.
And how? You're welcome. It's really lovely. So, was there a moment when beauty was just a critical element in a day for you? Could you remember a time when a beautiful something arose, and how did that affect your day or your
Well,
week?
yeah, going through years, literally years of what I went through, and I'm sure there's another book or two coming through my life, but there's a place near where I live in Oregon called Smith Rock, and it's majestic. It's majestic with canyons, a river. The sky is clear, and I know I went out there a lot through this journey. Haven't been in a while, but I would take myself out there, get a coffee, and go sit and just look at the beauty around me and let go of the circumstances long enough to appreciate the beauty. Even a little bug that might land on the windshield, and anything at all. The beauty of the people hiking, which were like, this big from the perspective. So there's also a blog called Perspective. But so in the midst of a difficult situation, finding beauty around you is not as hard as we might make it. You should be able to look out your window and see even a tree, the beauty in your own face and body, appreciating the beauty that you are, whoever you are. It doesn't matter. And comparison is from the pit. Let me tell you, do not do that. I wrote about that as well, because comparing ourselves to others, then we can't see the beauty in ourselves. And I just a real fan of finding somewhere beautiful to go, even if it's in your living room and you have to turn on the TV to look at birds or fish or scenery, something. But beauty is all around. And in the times that I went through, I took myself out to places. If I couldn't see it in front of me, I would get myself out of the doldrums, and I don't know what I'm going to do, talk to myself. And so go out and go, okay, well, there's an answer. And if I don't get it out of my head, you know how we get our heads going. And there's also one, I think I did one called the uh, Ferris wheel or something like that. I wrote so many, goodness. But the merry-go-round. We get in that, yeah, we get in that spiral, and it's like, what am I going to do? And so you ask yourself the same questions, and you ponder over and over and over. Get out, do something. If it's just standing in your front yard, but look for something beautiful. If you don't like the way you look, then go look at something else. But it is all around us, and the beauty is in our own eyes. If people watching this, well, if you couldn't see, what would you do? And if you can't see, you can hear and all that. There's a way to see beauty even if you can't see, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there is. There is the sound of water.
Hmm.
It's lovely, it's or the sound of the wind. I live in the woods. So, Miss Annette, it's your turn for
Thank
question.
you. Thank you, my beautiful one. I even think if you can just put your hand here and you can feel your heartbeat,
Hmm.
and you maybe cannot see or hear, and you can feel your heartbeat, that's
Hmm.
also beauty. So I have just skipped two questions because you were talking about some of the questions I want to ask, but I want to ask you in your chapter encouragement, you
Hmm.
talk about self-talk and how we speak to ourselves. Why
Hmm.
is the conversation so critical?
You're going to be talking to yourself more than you'll ever talk to anybody else. And I've heard it said, if you talk to yourself, would you talk to a child like the way, yeah, or would you talk to a pet even the way you talk to yourself? The like, if you're talking bad to yourself, really you're programming your brain to think bad. If you're talking bad to yourself, like, oh, you stupid fool, why did you do that, kind of thing, you better stop that. Because you're really programming your heart and your mind and your body to be that way. Is being kind to yourself is vital. Being loving to yourself. So if you wouldn't talk to your child or a pet, that way, then don't talk to yourself that way. Say encouraging things to yourself. Tell yourself that you like, okay, this is an exercise I did when I was teaching a class to some ladies, and we were sitting around the table, and they said, "What's our homework?" I was like, "Your homework is you go home and you look in the mirror and you look in your eyes and you say, 'I like you.'" And they laughed. I said, "Well, I could tell you to go say 'I love you,' but you need to take your clothes off and say 'I love you.'" So, oh, I mean, really, uh, they looked at me and they laughed so hard, I think they fell off their chairs. But I'm serious. I'm going to ask you next week when you come back, did you do it? And some were brave enough to do it, but we have to be able to encourage ourselves. Now, if you expect somebody else to be there to pump you up and make you feel good, you're going to be disappointed, because the world is not pretty most of the time. I mean, if you look at the news or look around, encourage yourself. That is so important. What you say to yourself is more, like I said, you'll talk to yourself more than you'll talk to anybody else.
I loved it. Thank you so much, my beautiful Janice. And that was also my saving grace when I started my journey 7 years ago, to start to love myself. And I didn't understand the word unconditionally. I had to learn to love myself unconditionally. Oh, 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 oh. So, my beautiful Natalie, over to you, my girl.
I love it when you do that. I've shared our show, and people love it when you do. Oh, 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 so cute. So cute. Awesome. Yes, being ourself, embracing ourself. Through my journey with that, in that area, for me, I started to think about my mind and my perspective and being a good parent. So I thought of being a good parent myself. And like if we didn't have a good parent who didn't say good things, it's like we can reparent ourselves. So bringing in the visual, big me to the littler me that's in there. I love that training. It is critical for it to have a beautiful life, to have a great life. Oh, well done. You're welcome. I want to read your dedication because that really touched me.
Okay.
Tino, your love in your dedication. You mention him. You say, don't give up when it's tough to be you. Rise up, get up, believe in you. That really spoke to me. Find someone to look up to who believes in you. I did this, and it's Tino, your husband, your partner.
Not anymore, but yes, at the time.
At the time, okay. Well, what was so important about him during that period, and I'll just say who right now occupies that space, a person or two for you in your life?
Well, yeah, that was at that time, and he was influential in. I was writing, so he was very influential in getting me on the radio, because I was on the radio for a year with my writing, so I was internationally heard, and so that's what led to doing the book, because I had been speaking, and it prompted me to put the book together. Um, and we're no longer in touch, but at the time, it moved my heart because his adult son, who had autism, had died suddenly in an accident right before he got here. He was coming from a different state. So his son had died, and of course that brought on some massive depression and very difficult circumstances. And there's a blog in there called "When It's Tough to Be You." about that song, because it is tough to be us sometimes. And as far as looking up to someone now, I have several really close friends that I admire, and we admire each other, we encourage each other. And some are going through, and some have been through some tough stuff, but they've been there for me through my tough stuff, and been encouraging and loving. So I really don't want to name names, on air and everything, but they're someone that helps me a lot. He's a real giver, and he's there to encourage me, and through losses and through difficult times. So that's that person that encourages me, and I have several of those. But what I have learned in life is, don't um, when you have someone like that, don't spend all the time just pouring out all your garbage on them. Just, you can say, I've got something that's going on, it's bothering me, but let them encourage you, and do yourself a favor. If they pay you a compliment, whoever it is, take it and say thank you. Because one of my pet peeves, just to cut to the chase, is when I give somebody a compliment and they just blow it off. I'm like, okay, you just threw that back in my face. Don't do that either. It's important when somebody loves you and cares and they pay you a compliment, graciously say thank you. And again, pay yourself compliments. So
That's so important. And you just hit something out of the park about that I really caught, because sometimes when you do have that cheerleader and that huge loving force, you can be tempted to dump too much of your stuff, of your hard things. So if you need more support, like to cherish those special people, because they're so special and precious, and to get a counselor, get outside support, maybe somebody who doesn't know you, to really offload.
totally,
Great point, Janice.
I
Yeah.
agree. And I had a counselor when I was going through some of my tough stuff, and it really helped me to learn how to voice to her, and not so much to all of my friends, because it's kind of like regurgitate. It's not pretty. We've all got not pretty stuff, and we've got to have someone to talk to, but cherish those people that are there to listen and respect them being there, and don't overdo it. I mean, you can, but listen to your heart on what you share, and be aware of your words coming out, that they're not gonna do damage at some level.
Yeah, it's good.
My
Sinette,
turn.
it's your turn.
So I'm at question 10 because I had to skip a little bit. So, question 10: which chapter in your journal was the most emotional or healing for you personally to write?
Oh my. You know what? You must have been very intuitive on that, because I was wondering, I wonder if they'll ask me what my favorite one is. And my favorite one is actually the title of my next book that I'm slowly, very slowly, I might add, working on. And it's called Dancing Through the Wreckage. It's called Dancing Through the Wreckage. Because when I heard that song, I just went, oh my gosh, she's singing about my life. So it's important that we learn how to dance in the rain, in the sun, and in the wreckage. And I felt like I was literally dancing over, you know, wreckage, like a car graveyard, that kind of thing. That's what it felt like. And in that chapter, when I wrote that, it was it was intuitive and download, because I was like, oh, that's a song. That's me. And so my memoirs are going to be entitled Dancing Through the Wreckage.
Wow, beautiful. I love that. Thank you, Natalie. Short and sweet. Over to you, girl.
That was so short and so sweet, but what an imagery. The wreckage and the fallout, right? The fallout of life. And we can dance. My mom-in-law has on her wall, I think it's dance in the rain.
Oh,
Choose to dance in the rain. She's almost 90, but she's got these great reminders. Wow, wow, wow. So which one now? Okay, past, present, and future. I chose that excerpt from your journal. Okay, be now. You changed it around a bit. Be now here. Getting clear. I'm not sure. I put getting clear in my body and mind. I think I was actually responding to the prompt in your journal more than asking a question. I think I just got to work here. It's dealing with the past, present, and future. So that's a good sign. Not so good for interviewing, but Sinette, I don't know. I'm not
I've
sure.
got another one.
Please,
Almost there,
please.
almost where you are. So then you can see what's your next question. So, my beautiful Janice, what do you hope readers feel after completing this journal of yours?
I want them to feel empowered and a sense of being in the now and having just, if you get through it in 90 days, then I say kudos to you because it is a 90-day journal. However, as myself, I challenged myself to go through it. And after I got my author's copy, I started going through it. Now I'm starting on the third time, same journal. I'm going through it again on the third time because every time I do it, it's like a year ago or a few months back that I get a different reflection.
Yes.
I want my readers to experience not just what I went through, but relate to their life, what they go through and what they've been through, to feel more courageous, to feel more confident, and of course, make more connections. And I did one about connecting with yourself. That's our most important connection, is connecting with ourselves.
Thank you, thank you,
It is.
thank you. My beautiful Natalie.
Thank you. Okay, Janice. So while you were, how long did it take you to write? Did you draw these chapters from your blog posts? Is that how it came about, or was it a little bit of interweaving of older posts and newer
Both.
inspirations down?
Yeah, a little bit
Yeah.
of both because I had, like I said, over 100 on my website at the time, and I went through and pulled the ones that I felt the most relevant to put in a journal, and I I did a mix. I just went through and said, okay, and my editor helped me couple it. She goes, you need a couple more, and let's take these out. So we took out everything that related to the holiday, and I did a what do you call it? A flip book or something. Yeah, I did a flip book with the holiday ones. So we took all the holiday ones out because she didn't want a different section. It wasn't relative. I mean, it wasn't relevant at the time. But I did them over a period of time. I didn't write every day, probably a couple of weeks over a couple of years. You're looking at that book probably 2 or 3 years worth of off and on blog writing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so deep and intensive. And I just have a little tag on question to go with that, if that's okay, Sinette. And that is, did you have somebody specific in mind is for your audience for this book? Do you have a specific type of person that you felt it would be that you had in your heart as you
Oh
created it, or a
no,
hope?
I felt it was for anybody and everybody. It's not from just women or whatever. It's for anybody and everybody. I've got men that have read it and women. So it really is for everybody that loves to read and learn to journal. It's a good book to learn to journal with. So if you've never been one to journal, it's a great starting place because you've got the prompts, you've got the blog, and then you can reflect on the questions as it's relevant. That word, relevant to your life. But nope, the audience, it's for everybody. It really is. And I haven't had anybody that I didn't think was a good candidate.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree with that. We all need that. And the questions you asked, the prompts that you used engaged me. Like in my notes, I'm noticing that I was literally writing out my answers to your questions. And that's rare for me to do that. Usually I skip over journals and things that ask me to answer questions. But these ones really did that for me. So great job.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Thanks, Natalie.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, my beautiful
Back
one.
to
So
you.
I'm gonna ask you a question, and then after you answer, I would then play our beautiful sponsors video. I will then allow Natalie just to tell us just a small snippet of a masterpiece, and then Natalie, you can ask. I think it will probably be your second last question after that. So my question is, as a personal development coach, what are some of the biggest struggles you see people facing emotionally right now?
Wow, that's a loaded question. As a coach, when I'm working with clients, time is a huge issue for people. Getting it all done. And one of the most important things that I work with people on is accountability and helping them realize where they are, and not that they necessarily stuck, but they don't know how to move forward, and looking emotionally at what's got them there, how they think. So holding them accountable, and they required reading is they get a journal, and that's required reading. So the biggest thing that as a coach I see is people just not having enough time and feeling the stress and overwhelm and trying to do too much, not focusing on themselves. So I hope that answers that.
You did, and you know, one of the things that I see a lot while with the coffee chats, a lot of people don't take care of themselves or take pockets of breathing, pockets of standing outside in the sun, just be still. I did the most beautiful post on Instagram today, and I love Sir David Attenborough's voice. He's always talk about nature stuff, and he said there's the moments in stillness. That's where the magic is. So I love that. I love that. So my beautiful viewers, I know that you are going to love Janice. It's an amazing journal. I must just say to same as Natalie, I also started to answer the questions, and then I was halfway through the journal, and I thought, okay, Sanette, I'm not going to finish the journal or try to finish for the questions, because I also need to make sure that I have engaging questions, and then I had to skip some of the most of the last I had to skip because there was not enough time. But I am going to play our beautiful sponsors video. And just please remember Janice's website, the book title, the summary of a book, and where to go and buy a book is down below in the show notes. So here we go.
The world is filled with toxins in our air, water, and food and cause you to feel off. Masterpiece cleanses these toxins out. Its natural blend of volcanic minerals removes the toxins and supports better sleep, focus, and energy.
It's compatible with your internal environment in which it goes. So you take 5 drops under the tongue twice a day.
It's clinically proven and has thousands of testimonials. Try it today.
Natalie?
Yay! Thank you, Masterpiece, for sponsoring our show and this beautiful interview. And Masterpiece is just a super gentle, natural formula. And that will, when I'm finding my mind is maybe foggy, a lot of people suffer with brain fog. And so I take quite a lot of it. I had some silver amalgams removed, and that's some heavy metals, and that can affect how the clarity of brain functioning. So all the science is there. You can just click on the link and look deeper into it if you want. All the research is there. Yeah.
Thank you, Natalie. So your question for Janice?
Okay, my question is, what if you were to zone into one area of this journal that you would consider to be the top most important thing to pull from it for a reader, and maybe just the most important to start with, for you, that you see as having the biggest impact?
Another one of my favorites that I wrote is Roll with the Changes. And that's another song. I'm very much into music. That song, it's I think it's meant as a love song, but I read it differently. But rolling with the changes in life, and I'm speaking as one who does not like change. I am definitely not one who likes change. I did not go quietly into the night on the life I've lived. It was not always pretty, but I did learn how to roll with it, and so now that's something I do more readily. Change is going to come, and the harder you fight it, the harder it's going to be. And if you need a solution, you'll find one. But I'm telling you what, they say the monster gets bigger if you fight it. So roll with the changes and so that's another kind of a theme you'll see through the journal, and help you learn how to just, okay, take that step outside, like Sinette said, step outside, take a deep breath, find something beautiful, and roll with the changes. You'll be surprised how much better things are when you roll.
Amen. Amen. What comes to mind, I took martial arts years ago, and we actually learned to roll.
Oh,
where you land on the mat and then you roll. So that kind of reminds me of that.
oh yeah.
Thank you for you.
That's great.
Stop. Sinette, it's your turn.
So next question, thank you, Natalie, that I would like to ask you. For me personally, I have stayed in 3 houses in all my life. And in the 3 houses, I'm almost 61. 2 of the houses were my parents, but I bought a house just around the corner, so 2 environments. And when I went through your book, you mentioned you were moving quite a lot around as a child. How did those experiences shape who you are today?
Oh boy. I learned how to make friends easily and blend in, I think, is probably a big part of it. Thankfully, didn't move during high school. That was a big plus. But I did move a lot as a kid and went to about 6 different schools, lived in a lot of different towns. And so people talk about going home. I don't even know what that means. The family moved so much, and then I got married and we moved a lot around the area. And so I think moving as a kid prepared me to do that rolling with the changes, because I had to roll a lot in my life. And even as an adult, move is a 4-letter word for me. I really don't like moving. And that's that change part. I don't like it. But I have learned to adapt and adjust, and it taught me a lot about how to be flexible and just, again, roll with the changes. when you move a lot as a kid, military people will know this, you don't put down roots. Roots are important. So if you don't have roots, you don't often know who you are because you're constantly bouncing and changing and like, okay, who am I? It's taken me years to figure out who I am. Years. Decades, I might add.
Thank you. Thank you for that, my beautiful Janice. So, Natalie, your last question, my beautiful one.
The last question, oh my. I'm going to just tag on to that, what you said, Janice, about not really having the roots because of that conditioning, your environmental conditioning. But on the flip side of that, when you learn those tough, you had that tough conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
And there is major silver lining with that once we stabilize
Mm-hmm.
and recover from it, basically, gain our roots eventually. Is there a place that you want to just lay? Are you now in the place where you're rooted? Do you feel? Have you found your place?
Well, I lived in the same house for 10 years with them in the marriage. And so I've been here almost 4 where I am now. I I would say I'm probably rooted in the area, rooted in where I live. I'm not sure. I don't know what roots feel like. I mean, I really, really don't. And it's interesting you use the term silver lining. Did you read that one? That's
Yeah.
another favorite. Yeah, there is a silver lining. And the silver lining is I can help people who have had roots. Sometimes roots aren't the best. I mean, you may grow up with bad roots for all I know, and bad roots, bad fruit, that kind of thing. However, the the roots I just didn't have those even as an adult. My family split. There's no family home. The one that there was that I identified as that was destroyed quite a few years ago. So and that felt like home to me. That felt like roots. And I had to emotionally deal with the destruction of the only place I could ever really call a home that I identified with as a kid. So as you look at your life, if you've moved around a lot, look at the plus side of it. There's so rooted. I'm rooted in the area. I'm rooted in my heart, and I think that's where it's most important is to be rooted in yourself. We're never going to be 100% rooted. I mean, you can have an old family home and live there for your whole life and still not have emotional roots.
You nailed it. And in these times of change, that's so you are the perfect coach for somebody who's working through these things. Thank you for your response. Thank you so much.
Thanks for that question. That was good.
So my beautiful Janice and my beautiful viewers, it's almost a wrap. Almost, almost. So, Janice, do you have a last word for the viewers out there and for your potential readers out there?
Oh my goodness. I did a lot of writing that was obviously from my life. And I would say if you buy the journal, you won't be disappointed. Everybody gets something different out of it. And I'm here for you. I'm definitely here. If you're going through something and you need help, I can work with you at that level and as a coach or as an author. I would say hang in there. There's there's some funny blogs in there like Bats in the Belfry. That's a good one. And and WHEE. That's from something stupid I did as a kid. And so you can laugh, you can cry through that thing. Let me tell you, you do everything. You'll laugh and cry and be motivated and inspired. So I would really appreciate you buying it. And when you buy it, I sign it and I send it to you personally. It is a signed copy by me, not through a major supplier.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, my
You.
beautiful viewers, I hope that you have loved this show and loved Janice. You will love her journal. So, Natalie, do you have a last word that you want to give the viewers before I do a wrap?
Thank you for being with us. And yes, authors pour their hearts out. So please buy it for yourself, buy it for a friend. We all need courage and we all need to rise, especially in these times. So thank you for being with us today.
Thank
Bye for
you.
now.
This has been amazing.
Thank you, my beautiful viewers. Now, my beautiful viewers, it's a wrap. My beautiful Janice, thank you so much for being here. My beautiful co-host Natalie, thank you for being here. My beautiful viewers, au revoir. Mwah. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.